So one of the stars that people expect to see in the night sky is the North Star because they think it's the brightest star.
But it's not. It's actually Sirius.
Oh,
Ain't the North Star. But here's a somewhat easy way, I think, to find it, because the Big Dipper is such an easily recognizable constellation. So the very end of the bowl of the Big Dipper are two stars. And if you follow that path, it points to the North Star. And the North Star happens to be the tip of the handle of the Little Dipper. So there you go, guys. Look for the dippers, follow the path.
So now tell me, though, why do we call it the North Star?
Because it's as close to north as you can get.
So that's a star that we can use for direction.
Navigation, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay,
and
cool.
so I think because it ties to the ancient people, not even ancient, prior to like GPS and all that, people using it for navigation, I think you just think it's the brightest. Because you're like, oh, find the brightest, that's North Star, and we follow that as our guiding light, but it's not.
So better to use the Big Dipper as a guide to help us find that star than to go for the brightest.
You have to have a guide to find your guide.
Aha.
That's how things were back then.
Maybe I need a guide for the guide to
Find
my
the guide.
guide.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. But one thing that's always fascinated me, and maybe because I was born in the southern hemisphere, is that the sky down there is very different. And maybe I'm biased, but I think it's better.
Aha.
I just think it's a better
You just think it's better. Well, is there a brighter star in the southern sky than Sirius?
You know what? I don't know. But I know you can see the large and small Magellanic Clouds, which I think is really cool.
You've definitely got us beat here in the northern hemisphere for
and
that.
you can see the Southern Cross, which is just a cool little essential cross of stars.
And that would lead you to being able to find south in the southern hemisphere too.
It's not quite on the South Pole either, but it's close enough. And it's easily identifiable, so it essentially can guide you south.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's great.
And Orion, which I mentioned earlier, another really easily identifiable constellation, is upside down in the south, or do we have it right side up and you guys have it upside down?
That was my next question. If you're an observer in the southern hemisphere, are constellations upside down?
They are, relative to the north. But again, maybe we have it right side up and you guys have it upside down.
I don't think so. I think the end is on this on this side of the planet, not on that side of the planet.
That's right. But we have our own constellations too, because you can certainly correct me if I'm wrong, I'm only aware that Orion's one constellation that traverses both hemispheres. Are there more?
Yes, there are a couple more that traverse the hemisphere. They sit right on the line between north and south. So you can sort of see them from the south as well as being able to see them from the north.
That's
but
cool.
not many. And then the southern hemisphere has a whole slew of constellations that are very much different from the north.
Absolutely.